Sure, but let's not be too harsh on CX. They are a competitive team. They may well be struggling in UK Masters, but they've certainly shown some premise. But either way, it's enough about the standings, enough about the wheres and the hows, because we are going to be going live into Map 1 of UK Masters, the final week of this season. And it's going to be Infused versus FM over on Cobblestone, as Lumji begins to take the fight over towards Platform. Fry already going to be beginning to dart up towards Matrix, as FM look to pierce their way out over on towards the A side. It all begins with Fry. He's the big player here as he peeks with that Glock.
Well, let's see if they can do it here. We've got the rotations already coming through. Infused as it is FM trying to get to the site. Stanley going to open things up onto Ozzy here as Pulse comes around the side and clears the site. Shaney, he finds one fork, his buck, but one's not enough. The bomb will be planted here for FM when they find a second. Mumji's doing his best to find damage, but it won't be the case. Just Pickles and he goes down. A very clean round there from FM. Only losing Pulse in the process. Everyone a kill apiece.
Yeah, that complete teammates really sets up FM for that dominant run as they claim that pistol and now they look to connect. The SMGs get brought into the fold, welcomed with open arms as UMPs triple apiece. An extra AK-47 into the hands of Fry, and then of course you do see the addition of the MAC-10, the brunt of the firepower for Nilzinho, as he's always certainly going to be the quick man to charge on forward and look for those early aggressive entries. And Stanley at least trying to take that mantle away, but it is that stack.
They're rushing straight into a stack here. A chance for Team Infused to find a frag for themselves, but no. Only Sheiky going to find one. Find two. Good stuff. But that does mean that it's just Ozzy and Pickles left alive. Ozzy currently hiding out in this alleyway. Going to be able to hear the T's as they come on through. And Pickles, he's in that connector area. The bomb inching its way towards the A side. But Pulse is diligent, looking everywhere. Gonna find Ozzy. That just leaves Deep Pickles. With the Steagle of all guns, he could find some damage, but it's not to be.
Well, let's talk about Pickles. He's the recent addition for Infused. He's the player that you really are going to be looking to almost chew upon for this kind of red lineup. Is he going to be able to kind of step up on the rifles? Is he going to be a big player for Infused? What are you thinking, Dowsy? I'm thinking certainly expecting to be a big addition.
Interview with Nilzinho recently, he said that Pulse was their rock of the team, the consistent member of the team, that you can always rely on Pulse to have a good game, a good performance. And so for FM, they certainly believe in the player. They certainly believe that Pulse will always perform to a level they expect him of. It's if he goes further than that, that's when things get really exciting for us as spectators watching this game. But currently for FM, they've got all they need to make this work for them. They've pulled out the 5 SMGs. I was going to say pen triple, but let's not confuse ourselves. Unfortunately though for Stanley, it does not work. He gets overwhelmed. Now it's Fry in a bit of trouble. He gets overwhelmed as well. Smoke will go out, a Molotov as well, as FM are trying to pick up the pieces, but Team Infused, they've found 2 frags and 2 guns.
They've set themselves up strong as well, but there's one big problem. Their plan can be foiled so easily. They get trapped in towards Connector right now, looking for an escape, searching, clambering up the walls as they look for that hatch that open on the doorway as they begin to make their jump through. But whether they're all just going to get lined up by FM as they mow them down 4 apiece, leaving just Sheiky with a P250 to work out where did it all go wrong and how can I make something of this round. The answer for you, Sheiky, is you cannot. You have to just suck it up and move on to the 4th round. This is the big one. This is the first buy for the CT side. This is where we get to see the likes of Pickles, that addition for the Red Boys step up, but also Sheiky, Lumji, the AWP of Shaney. It's the whole package for Infused. This is their time to shine, that first buy.
Let's see what they can do with it. That AWP there in the hands of Shaney is glass cannon, not to mention, so we'll have to make sure his shots count, but it is FM once more pushing towards this A site. Not even looking to put any aggression, just Fry here, making his way forward as he searches for the CT. Shaney going to be holding a cross angle. Has Sheiky down at the bottom of the ramp to try and spot out if anyone does push into the mid area. FM, they're going to come out, look to try and take this as a team, but the smoke goes down. Sheiky holding back the forces just for now. FM, they're just going to take things slow, wait for this to go out. A nice little boost to check over the smoke, see if they can find Shaney's head or Sheiky if he makes his way up the ramp. Sheiky looks to flash himself out of this scenario. Let's see if FM are able to breach the site. Pulse, UMP against AWP could be a problem if he does go for that long angle.
FM's goal here is to really pop off some utility, distract away kind of Sheiky from that angle, keep him almost focused on door, and then that will allow that pincer to come in from long. This is where the AWP of Shaney kind of rolls into the play, as you mentioned. The Problem there is a simple flash, a simple smoke, knocks him back, forces him towards that left wall from the site, and, well, Shiki not even going to get anything done, doesn't sit really too far tight, he's going to fall. In fact, Aussie will come on with a quick, hearty rotate, finds himself just a one, but the trades left, right, and centre. FM, they are punching all across the board. Infused, the left, trying to mop up the pieces now, as Lumgy and Pickles already darting back towards the B site. They know it's all pretty much done here. Try and save out those two M4s, pick up some utility across the floor as well. Anything. They're just strewn all over the place, as that's a smoke already to flash on towards Pickles. That's money. That's dollar bills, something they're going to need. As they crumbled early on, FM, they get themselves their fourth, and they are a team who will well and truly look to really build off the back of this now. This is their roller coaster. They try and get themselves on that uphill trend.
Certainly will be. Everyone with the rifles in hand. We'll have to see if Stanley comes in and just tries to build up some bank for the team with a UMP purchase. Currently FM, they're doing fantastic right now, so really great start for them. And Team Infused are going to be now fighting this entire half. As they lose that first gun round, they have the two M4s thankfully in their hand. Perhaps even a possible force coming through. We'll have to see a match pause comes through, and I believe I heard it was a technical coming through as well. So perhaps a chance for these teams to chat whilst they sort that one out.
Well, this is the thing, Dowsy. This isn't a battle. This is a war. It's won in many different fronts and many different places. Not only is the fact that this is a best of two, but you bring it back to the central point as we're only 4 rounds in, going into our 5th. Infused, they do have time to play with. So they are going to look to gear themselves up, get themselves these rifles, work out what their choice is going to be off the back of Shiki, Aussie and Shane not having too much money. But this arguably could be a healthy force up for them. It could be an avenue of attack, and again kind of rolls back into the thought process that Infused, they're not all but done. It's only 4 rounds. It's just that the going's got tough, and a T-side on Cobblestone really is kind of a point of where FM, they can start to really kind of twist that screw now. Force Infused back down and say, you know what? Hey, you've got a shot, but you can't take it.
Infused need to put up a strong argument on their CT side here, because when they do switch sides, it is going to be a massive uphill battle. Constantly we see in CS that the team that makes the most waves is the team that can proactively play their terrorist side and really keep the CTs on their toes. FM coming into this as the higher seeded team, as you said, possibly one of the strongest UK lineups we have here in this current era of UKCS. For Infused, that puts pressure straight on them. They need to be fighting back. They need to be staying in the matchup. So we'll have to see if they can at least start to get things together. This next 2 rounds will really be crucial for them, whether or not they're going to be able to start getting a bit of momentum back on their side. FM, they're in a great position. You look at the money across the board, you have 3 members, already over $5,000. That means that they're starting to build out their money. They have extra cash in the bank if they want to go for an AWP. Of course, they didn't even have to purchase this one. They stole it from Team Infused after they invested with a glass cannon. That's more economy straight over to FM, and it's not really the time you want to be giving them freebies.
You talk about economy, you talk about all the freebies as well, but something you can't quite ignore is FM, they're not just waltzing in from a few online matches. No, they've just returned from taking the lion's share of the ESL Premiership Spring 2017 season, which, sure, it's a completely different league environment, it's a completely different format in itself, practically. But at the end of the day, that's still a LAN win for them, and it was so recent, just a few days ago. So that motivation factor, as they claim themselves a 3-1 victory there, is going to roll into this, because they're getting a boys' run form. We've just spent a day together playing on LAN, next to each other, looking into each other's eyes. That is yet again just another big package for FM. It's everything they need, going up against Infused, who are going to be sitting there going, yeah, we haven't quite been able to play on LAN. We haven't quite been able to sit tight recently. We're kind of perhaps not really all there. It's just online CS for us.
Not only that, they played Cobblestone to break the backs of the M&M Gaming roster, who was acquired, the Fish 123 lineup from the ESL Premiership, with Cobblestone, a 16-5 victory. So their most recent Cobblestone experience on LAN against possibly one of the other strongest teams in the UK right now, they broke the backs of coming into this one with a 3-1 victory overall. So incredible stuff from FM so far. They've proved themselves worthy opponents. Currently, whilst we wait, Team Infused experiencing that technical difficulty. So we'll introduce Ryan's beautiful face back onto your screen so you guys can quay. How do you even say that?
Cry?
You know, I've been cry. That's what I'm
Something.
doing right now.
I'm not really quite sure where
On
you
the
were leading with
inside.
that, but either way, what I don't want to do is I don't want us to sit here and get in a repetitive rut, almost digging ourselves in a trench where we're talking about a match that we're waiting for, which
Sure.
is fair enough. We are kind of patiently waiting, twiddling our thumbs for something to take place. But there's no need to stress the same old factor because the problem is we've only played 4 rounds. We've kind of hit a brick wall. The point is all but done. So instead, let's just kind of just hold on for a second. The game is coming up very soon, so do kind of hold tight. We aren't just kind of disappearing, but we can kind of change topics. We can redirect the conversation, which is going to be over to the schedule, of course. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the matches that, right at the start of the show, we talked about being the big ones. Of course, FM versus Infused, the one we're witnessing right now. Then later on tonight, it's going to be XL eSports versus Imperial, followed by tomorrow, Zenex versus XL. Yet again, a double header for XL to start the show off. And then Fish, 1-2-3 versus Imperial. And the last day, the final day of the online stage of UK Masters, the Infused versus CX and FM versus Endpoint. Now, Dowsy, I want to open the floor with what is kind of tomorrow, kind of that Thursday. What are the big games for you? What sticks out to your mind as, you know what, that's the one that if you were sitting at home, you'd grab the popcorn, you'd sit on your sofa. What would you watch?
So there's 2 things that immediately fly out from the screen to me. It's that last game of the season, Team Endpoint versus FM. That's going to be so crucial in deciding which team comes in that top 4. Both those teams have a fairly good shot of getting top 3. Where they place is really important. The other one, and it relates to this series as we get back into the game, is all of the Team Infused and all of the Imperial matches, because these guys are fighting it out for that 4th place. They could even get higher if the matchups go their way. So really excited to see how they fare. And this one to kick us off, Infused versus FM. It could just be the relief Infused need heading into this week's matchups. Let's see what Lumpy can do as it's the charge onto B. Nothing as far, but Pickles showing his threat as he takes down 1. Aussie going to finish off the 2nd there for him. And a 3rd comes Infused way. That Molotov will push Aussie into a fairly hard scenario. He will be taken down by Pulse with a Glock. But now we're in a 2 versus 2. The Deagle in the hand of Shiki and Shaney with that P250. Looking for a flank. FM, are they watching the angle? Of course they are. Nilzinho going to keep an eagle eye on that one. A chance, though, for Infused. It's all on Shiki and a Deagle.
It's a very thinly veiled chance, so let's not kind of get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's not kid away at the dream. It is just that, a dream right now for Shiki. He's staring up into the stars going, okay, what do I need to make this one stick? Well, Shiki, you're pretty much looking at some back-to-back headshots, some One League magic. Are you going to be channeling your inner NK today, perhaps following almost in the footsteps, the limelight of Nico, as he makes his dart forward, playing around the mist that is the smoke. Looks for the first, despite even get to fire off a singular shot. As Nilzinho will take him down, a dismantling headshot for him. SFM stocked their 5th in the bank. But that was just a kind of an odd job for Infused. Don't forget, the big one here is going to be the fact now that Infused, they go into this with everything they need. The AWPs, the rifles, the real utility. What is their game plan here in this 6th round?
Looks like they're going to put a lot of pressure over towards that B site. Have 1 watching drop and the rest on B as they expect that FM are going to start stretching that B muscle that we see teams default to so often. But you look at the minimap, you can see that FM, with our eagle eye, our 2020 vision, are currently planning something different. The bomb, it's making its way towards A, long as Frey is checking down danger at the moment. It's only 1 member, Shiki, on the site here, M4 in hand, and a flashbang to try and get him out of an awkward position. Team Infused, though, they're playing an interesting gambit. They're rotating multiple members at the same time, and now Nilzinho's taken down Shiki. That's going to be these guys rushing into the site. Aussie to find 1, but Stanley will take the return back. Shaney, AWP, he can be the solid block that Infused need to hold this A side. In fact, he does enough to say to FM, try B instead.
Yeah, but Pickles, he's the real man to watch right now. He's pushed up onto his platform. He takes a fight up against Stanley, but doesn't land the shots. And this is disastrous. Pickles, we shone the spotlight onto a view, and he made a complete mess of things. Now, it's all but done. Pulse is going to take him down. Weber holding tightly onto his door as it's frags left, right, and centre.
Wow.
An uppercut from Shaney, but Pulse is straight back there with a jab in the ribs to take him down, knock him to the floor. As it's a smooth KO for FM. As they take it 6-0. This is one hell of a charge from this T-side. Cobblestone Shore, a map that you do look at and go, you know what, this is where the T-side do get to run riot, do get to make their play. But 6-0 is looking very, very bleak for Infused. This may well be just one battle of many. but they've got to start performing. It's now or never.
You could see that they were being proactive. They had the right idea. As soon as they got the information that FM didn't want to take A anymore, they tried to push aggressively, find some damage, try and hack FM, you know, with their pants down. But unfortunately, Pickles, in fact, just messed up his combination. Thankfully, Shaney, he's finding damage onto the team. A 1-for-1 trade, of course, still favors FM on the T side with the guns, but it's damage done to the economy. They need to be trading their lives as much as possible here, Team Infused, if they're going to start cutting down the enormous amount of money FM has been building up. A push into mid reveals that there are no terrorists here, so Infused can right about know that the bomb is making its way towards B, unless FM decides to do something tricky. Tricky they will, as they head back towards mid.
FM begin to build up. They launch themselves there, ready and waiting into this catapult. They've got 2 players to dive in first, then they'll send in the reinforcements, the cavalry, on their horsebacks. There's Ozzy going to hold an angle, looking to fire a quick shot with a deagle through a crevice. Backs himself off the balcony, fires off one, only finds the tag Fry. Will punish him for that, finds the frag, forces the hand. And the Infused as they get swindled further and further. As FM garner themselves full control, it's like they check for Pickles. He will find one, but he has to be such a big anchor with this rifle, and it's not quite enough. Fry will take him down, and yet again, Infused. They set themselves up, but they set themselves up to fall. As Weber will take the head clean off a Shiki, leaving him for FM. 7-0 Infused, still there. Sat in this world, but a buy yet again. The rifle's on the board. But you talked about economy rounds and rounds ago. Take a glance at FM, take a look at their bank accounts. They are right now rocking the Alan Sugar lifestyle, driving around in their brand new Bentleys as they're sitting there with 13k, 14k in their bank accounts.
And for Team Infused, this is their moment here. If they lose this round, then that first half is pretty much done for them. It's just picking up pieces at that point, trying to regain a bit of respect for themselves. And you have to feel for Pickles. He's been in so many scenarios where he could have made a massive difference for Team Infused, but timing has let him down. His game sense has let him down. He just didn't know where to look at the right time. It's such a finicky thing. Either you got it or you don't. And in this scenario, in this game, Pickles currently struggling. Perhaps he can put himself in that scenario multiple times and play that statistic game. He's going to throw a Molotov off the flash as well, but once more, it's a nade out. Catching him with his pants down, and he will be taken on down as well. Thankfully, Team Infused, this wall of smokes, it allows them to rotate into the B site before FM get the bomb down. Now it comes down to the aim, that after plant scenario here. What can Team Infused do here?
FM though, they've read this one, they've set themselves up, they've been smart with their flashes, bear in mind. A Jewel will be taken by Ozzy to at least try and equalize things. Lumsey is going to go aggressive, trying to turn the hand. Shaney with the A to B to be the rock they can try and rely on, as Nilzinho still firing, burning away in the fire of the flames. Now it's all on Weber, but he's being so crisp. He finds himself that one-tap on towards Ozzy, gets a 1-versus-1 on towards Shaney. Weber now looking for it in towards Shiki. The final frag required, the defuse is being stuck. Weber has no idea what is going on. Shiki may just make this one work. The spray from Weber doesn't even connect. Infused off the back of Shiki. Smart, straight onto that defuse. He makes it stick around on the board. This is the foothold. Don't screw this up now. Keep it together. Get yourself that second. Because I hate to be the naysayer, but imagine. Just take a step back for a second. Look at the reality of a potential reset here from the FM side.
It would be disastrous, and FM will be looking for it as they keep that AWP in their economy, making sure that they don't have to reinvest too much into this round. But it's a foothold for Infused. Just don't lose your grip now. You have to hold on with both hands and take the ride that FM will throw towards you. A roller coaster with no safety belts, no protection. It's going to be Frey finding that aggression towards A as FM. They go back to what's worked so many times this game, the A play. Infused, they've prioritized their defenses. 3 CTs immediately into A, trying to hold B with just 2, and seems like they've read FM so far, but this round is so early. A minute still left. Nilzinho looking to be their first aggressor. Just looking all the angles he can see as the rest make their way up mid. Ozzy spots them out, but he has his head blown off Frey. Going to just do his best to calm down everyone, and it's all gone wrong for Infused here. It's just Pickles left alive in a 1-versus-4 scenario, and there's nothing to do. Just save your M4, my friend. The reset, the nightmare that Team Infused were experiencing, it's reoccurred.
Infused, get yourself back to the hotel. You are done. You are wasted. You've tried to go out for a night out. You had a good one, but this is pretty much just looking at a disastrous point at this point. 1-7. Many a point, sure, we can kind of ramble on to that all we want, but at the end of the day, it is just Pickles trying to scrap up what was left behind by his fallen comrades. Infused, their economy is going to be gutted after this. FM, meanwhile, they're going to be sitting there laughing. They're having a great time right now. This is the best way this match could have gone for them. Yeah, you could always argue, oh, they wanted the 9-0, guys. What do you want about it? Well, no, because look at it. They could go 9-0, but then Infused can still sneak in a few rounds. Whereas now, FM is 8-1. But FM pretty much guaranteed that 9th round, and from there, that score yet again just gets so much more withdrawn from either of these teams, and it means FM are just certified as the dominant force.
They managed to take that M4 out of the economy as well for Team Infused. So just throwing their bodies on the line, making sure that Infused enter this round with just pistols in hand. It is a dire scenario, as you mentioned. The possibilities of 9-1 to FM are high. Shaney being caught out in mid. The flashbang blinding him doesn't help this factor whatsoever for Infused. We will see the rotates over towards the A site, but remember, pistols against AKs, I know who my money's on. FM are just going to make easy work of this one. Pride to find one and a second as well. Just Lumgy and Pickles left alive, but on the wrong side of the site. As the bomb goes down, FM make their case for the 9th round.
Let's just whip out our textbooks for a second and just look at a bit of analysis on where things went wrong on this A site, because I feel like that has been pretty much the hot zone for FM in terms of where they picked up their rounds. But before we kind of dive into that, I guess we can't kind of miss the fact that some pistol frags are being claimed, but it's only damage, and if they can save these rifles, that's at least going to be the plus side. But at the end of the day, to go back to that point, the A site, the weakness that there is, long, it's something, sure. You know, we usually see FM able to pry a peek out there with the AWP, and that gives them that frag. But for the most part, the big problem is ramp. They have no contention of it. They put 3 players on A, playing all far back on platform, expecting to be able to wait for that push. But when the push came in, they got completely annihilated. They need to contest ramp. If they don't, FM are just going to continually run riot there.
Absolutely. I want to see more forced aggression from Infused. I want to see someone up on A long, throw a shotgun, put their best snacks cosplay on and just try and aggress it. You can see Shiki is going to be doing so, but a round with just Deagles, it's not really the round where you're looking to try and take the ball out of FM's possession. Just more proactive plays. Team Infused, they're constantly caught on their angles, being pushed upon. And FM immediately have the advantage, the attacker's advantage as they move into the site. Team Infused, they need to vary their positions. They need to vary the angles they're holding. Maybe throw other people on the angles as well. Let's get some Pickles action on the A site rather, instead of this B site where he's, attempting to do work. In fact, they're finding great stuff as they group up as 3. That's going to be AKs coming through here for Infused, but Zinho's still there with an AWP. He could just shut this down with 3 quick shots.
Cheeky though.
That's
right
great
there
stuff.
On the backlines, yeah, able to completely catch Neil
It's a
Zinho
proactive
off.
play. You need the proactive play. Infused, they need to be making these risky moments. They need to be going for it at this point because they're not going to win the game doing what they're doing now. They need to change things up, and you can see they have. Frey, the last man alive. The bomb is firmly in the possession of Team Infused as this one kind of slips under my eyes, but Frey will start to try and pick away. He's got 3 more members to go and 18 HP. A quick flashbang. He's just going for broke here. He tries to find it. Shiki down, but Lumgy will be able to trade. Good attempt, but not enough. Team Infused on a round they should have been. They make the proactive plays and they take one away from FM.
It isn't just a round they shouldn't though. Something that again kind of fell amongst the traps, that fell amongst the dead bodies of FM, was the idea that Infused they went into it with pistols. But one phrase that you mentioned in that round sticks into mind, and it really sums up that round. Proactive play. Infused, now's a chance to keep it going. Prove yourself to us. Prove it to everyone watching at home.
They're doing exactly that. 2 members are making their way down A long. One's going to be contesting mid straight off the bat. It's Shiki throwing through that smoke. Molotov will be traded by Frey, but instead of 3 men on A, all pushed down to the back of the site, it's 3 men holding these angles right up close, making sure that FM don't even get an inch on the map, trying to hold that map for an amazing flick. Will they expect Sheeny? Oh, they do. Pulse just saying, oh, you want a highlight? I'll give you one. Aussie up here. How many times can he get lucky? Not enough times. That's Aussie with 2. And it just leaves Stanley and Weber in a 2 versus 2. Thankfully for FM, they have the position on the site. But this backstab, it's coming from Pickles and Lumgy. As they come onto the site, they might just be able to catch this member of Stanley all by himself. They will. That's going to be the site theirs. And Weber knows it. He's like, well, crap. I'm on the wrong side of the smoke. They have control of the site. Little do Team Infused know this. At the moment, his position is hidden to them. But they're going to make their way up to the bomb and realize they haven't been shot at.
But Infused is going to be told they are just going to be sticking this one. Infused, they know where their money lies, they know where that pot is, and they are going to keep it safe. And
Everything went wrong there for FM. You can only say that it was FM making mistakes there. You know, sure, the individual frags were great. But that
battle for the frag roll.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. You know, who's going to get the best montage highlight in this game? But Weber's positioning after plant, it was too aggressive from FM. It was too cocky from FM. It was the 9-2 scoreline from FM. We are so far in the lead, we cannot throw this game from FM. And now, as Infused start to find their feet, they're going to have to play much more carefully because Shaney, he's saying, I want ya. As he takes Stanley down, it's an advantage for Team Infused. They've got the confidence. Can they carry it through?
Well, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Pulse is going to look to at least try and respond over on towards Long, and Smoke is there, but a nade to land right at his feet. Ozzy, he picked up a double kill off the back of this position in the previous round. If he can repeat that, then who knows what can happen. He's there caressing the trigger, waiting to fire, and there he goes. He lets it rip, finds one, dips in for a second, looking for a third. Will burn away in the flames, but Cheeky and Shady, the double man S squad, will dismantle that FM side, push them further back. As the harder they rise, the quicker they fall. FM learning a tough lesson. As this 9-6 is all but there, right for the picking for Infused.
They've been lured into a false sense of security. I don't believe Infused did this on purpose, but that is certainly what has happened in this game. FM, they felt unstoppable. They felt like they were kings, the gods of the UK. Currently, Infused are challenging that position. It's Mutiny here in the Masters. And now, it's going to be FM with the shady buy. Stanley, he has a Tech 9. Where did all the money go? FM, they've lost it. And this round will be so crucial. Of course, it's the 14th. There's only one more in this half. But Infused wants to keep this momentum strong. It is going to be the frags going their way. Shaney will be taken down, but Pickles finally finds the clutch moment he needed. 3 kills in a round, and it is 5-9. Infused, they make a case for themselves. They want to take this 6-9. And if you look at the economy of FM, well, they just don't have it.
They don't have it. And they are not going to be able to get it back either. You've got to look at it and go, you know what, just go for the force up. Get yourself these 2 SMGs in play. It's the best you're going to be looking to achieve as you go into this 15th round, the final of this half. FM, it may well be short in terms of what they've got, but it's still strong firepower. UMPs are always a very valued SMG to have. But can they make it stick? The last 2 rounds, Infused really have just been plucking them out of the sight as they make these pushes. This time, a triple man setup towards ramp. There's that big change again coming into the fold. FM prodding out towards Long a little bit, kind of sending a few in towards Connected, trying to get that split down. Look at that position being held by Weber.
I love this from Infused. They've decided to take the proactive approach in all areas of the map, but they're changing it up every time. It's a different position that they're poking, prodding, seeing if FM oozes out from it. Currently, it is quiet. Nothing has happened. But Team Infused are starting to learn. Unfortunately, Shiki caught in rotation, but Ozzy will be able to trade. Frey coming forward, but Frey will be dropped. Ozzy, he finds 2 for himself. The bomb still over at the A side, and Pulse, he's going to confuse Infused. Where's it coming? And it was enough. Nilzinho will find the backstab. Shaney misses that off shot, and now he's under pressure as 3 rush him, and Weber will take him down. It's just Pickles left alive in a 1 versus 3. The bomb to be planted on the A site, but Pickles once more has found himself in a dominant position. Well, not a dominant, a crucial position that he needs to be the one to step up for a Team Infused. So many times he's been here and hasn't quite been able to find it, but the first frag will be his. Positioning will be exploited. Can he find Pulse, who's just on 15 HP? Currently poking out. Nilzinho holding a ground, waiting for Pickles to make his way up. A Diffuse Kit is there, but he needs to make his move. He needs to go for it. And unfortunately, the double peak coming through from FM will seal Pickles' fate. 10-5 at the end of the first half. But I would have expected it based on the first rounds.
You've got to give credit to Infused being able to bring it back like that. Still getting 5 rounds on the board on the CT side of Cobble. That's a respectable scoreline. You're actually going to be pretty okay with that. Now they go on to their T side, and this is where they can build back into it and actually bring us a close and contested matchup. So for Infused, they're now the ones sitting there cheering, getting kind of almost egged on by their fans as they look to bring it back. Of course, you kind of do look towards them and say, you know what, you did get lulled into a bit of a sense of security by giving up too much map control in that last round. But at the end of the day, the pistol rounds are so much more important. Why not try and go aggressive and try and make it work? If they're sat out towards platform, Fry is going to look for that opening headshot. If he can pierce down on towards Lumji, that's a one-man advantage. They're just going to fall nice and comfortably into the court of the CT side.
It's going to be Infused. They have a Molotov and 2 flashbangs. Shiki, the utility man here, to try and allow Infused to get onto the site safely here. There's going to be one thrown out already. Shiki just testing drop, but the moves that's coming. Infused, they're going to rush towards the B site, and Frey is there to try and stop him. He lands the first onto the head of Shaney, a second onto Ozzy as he's taken them all down. Spots Pickles out, but can he find him? He can, of course, and that just leaves Shiki left alive, and he will be finished by Stanley with a 2-piece. Incredible defense there from FM. A crucial round for Infused loss. This pistol will make things infinitely harder as FM, they start the ball in their position, in their court.
Not only that, but you can't miss the subtle decision-making coming in from Fry there. The fact that he backs off and waits to reface off of those kind of Olafmeister steps is so smart. It gives him that repeat potential, it opens him up for that third frag. But frags aside, it allows his teammates to rally behind him, get themselves set up to be the insurance policy. It really is that big decision-making as an individual that is so good to see, as now at least Infused. Of course they're going to force back with the Tech 9s. They've got control of Connector, but they're getting squashed down. Ozzy going to end his teammate, will find one in return. Tots up for a triple kill for him. You include that team kill. Stanley runs right over towards platform, a double kill for himself. Look at the HP of Infused.
Look who the bomb is as well. It's all the way across the platform. Shiki has to full on face, and Stanley will be able to take him out. Fantastic play from Stanley to hold that one together. Unfortunately for Ozzy, perhaps that extra member, if he was able to save the life of his teammate, would have been crucial for Infused's chances. Unlucky, they are now going to be on the pistols here. FM in a great position to find that 13th round, and with the 5 UMPs in their hands, they will look to keep that economy game that they've played so well strong.
Cutting the games all well together at this point to shut this one down, end it right here. Ozzy at least going to start a strong Tech 9s, and pistols can still do damage, bear in mind. But this is where the cash printers kick on through. The money spewing out all over the place. There's already one frag to fall into place. Pulse, the man to claim it. Next in line, more likely is set up to probably be Little Man Shiki. But in fact it is going to be Pickles to steal the limelight away from him. You'll know it's no rush to get the top of the queue, as you all will get served a nice little dish from Nilzinho. A few bullets from the UMP.
Lovely stuff, all in one clip, and he will find those 3 kills. Nothing to scream about too much though, as it was that eco round for Team Infused. Now's the time for Infused to put their best foot forward. Make sure they aren't dancing with 2 left feet here. The 5 AKs come out, but it's limited utility. It's going to be a tough task to breach onto a site and then hold it. And Weber, he's so aggressive, he comes forward. He finds an HE grenade at the feet as a welcome from Team Infused. Not really the best house guests, but of course they are wanting to make sure that they try and find an invitation of their own towards the playoffs, and currently they need to find more rounds in this game. They can't afford to lose this many in a row.
What's the round difference? Think
Round
about
difference
it.
is getting
a valid point.
right.
They can't lose in a 16-5, 16-6. It would butcher their matchup against Imperial. It really could hurt them. So they need, even if they lose 16-13, that's better.
Yes.
The journey has to start. They need to switch on those engines and go at full speed right now. They look to at least try and build up on towards A, but slow and steady. Sometimes, and usually they say that slow and steady, that tortoise will win the race. But this time it's looking like it is going to be swiftly ended by an AWP that just runs right at Weber. A double kill for him. Lumji is going to try and rush up through and will take him down. Looks for a second and gets it on towards Nilzinho. The smoke is going to go down in towards drop as well, covering off Connector most importantly. This is better from Infused. They have a shot here to get that bomb down and force FM onto a retake.
That's a strong possession from Team Infused as the bomb does get planted. The mic dropped. Let's see if they can do it here. It is Lumji finding Pulse, but Stanley, he trades on back. Lumji spots out one. I swear he did. He will definitely find Frey, and that just leaves Stanley in that 1 versus 2 AWP, and you can see he's called quits already. A crucial round there from Infused. They will find that 6 on the board, able to take down the defenders in what seemed like a situation that was over with the 2 frags from Weber straight off the bat. Now, they've got a chance. They can continue this momentum, start rolling it their way. They will start to close that difference that is this scoreline, 13-6 currently. More importantly, if they do lose against FM, that's, you know, consider that as a possibility. You mentioned it, that round difference. They are ahead by 5 at the moment between Imperial, and they are tied with Imperial. Their head-to-head was tied as well. It all does come down to that if they can't manage to pull ahead of the pack.
An interesting thing here is the sheer disparity, though, in frags from Infused. Lumsey, I'm pretty sure he was sitting on about 3 or 2 frags just before that. So, yeah, off the back of getting a quadra kill in that round, goes from 2 up to 6, which really highlights where, perhaps you could argue there have been a few missing links from the Infused lineup. But Lumsey, he woke up, now he's trying to shine. Unfortunately, he's led to his death. Fry just going to be there to say, you know what, boys, come to me, I've got the candy, come on over. And just there completely annihilates them when they think about fighting it, going for that jump, that leap of faith down. This is just a bloodbath. FM, they are here to play. 14-6, Infused. Just getting around circles around. Yeah, they've had some really good rounds, but you also can't kind of gloss over the fact that a lot of the rounds they've picked up have been triple kills, have been quadra kills. It's individual prowess. And something we harp on so much about on the UK scene is that, sure, you can win a few games here and there off the back of one player stepping up, but in a comeback scenario, you need a team. You need 3, 4 players stepping up. You can't just have one player delivering triple and quadra kills. It doesn't work like that. That's not how you bring it back.
Now, this pistol attack from Infused. Tech9s, they did get fairly far the last time we saw this from them. It's an unlikely scenario. All the flashbangs and the smokes go out. They are looking for that wall of smokes, and Aussie finds a quick headshot onto Pulse. Perhaps they can get the bomb down. It's certainly looking good as Shaney takes Stanley's head off. The bomb will be planted, but Fry, he's looking to push aggressive. He spots out the legs, but he doesn't spot Aussie on the left of him. Aussie, oi, oi. Weber, Nilzinho, all alone. It's just Weber with that AWP. Not gonna happen. Infused, they play the rush game. All or nothing tactics here. There's nothing to lose when you are in that scenario, and they find that 7th point. Not only that, they find a reset in the economy. FM not looking so hot. They're going to be forced to just hold up with these pistols.
Every round counts. Getting to the sort of the 7th is, where praise can certainly lie. We can't kind of knock on them too hard. Sure, mistakes on both the teams. We've kind of certainly highlighted Infused a fair bit off the back of the scoreline. But this is at least something they can try and improve upon. 14-7, as you mentioned. And already they have the clear-cut firepower advantage. The drop zone is going to be a point of contention. Lumji, ready and waiting with a flash to be dropped and a frag for him to find.
Pickles, 5 HP, but he finds Pulse nonetheless as he comes up to try and complete the job. Shaney takes the head off Nilzinho. It's just Fry and Weber here, and Weber's looking to try and continue this flank that has going. Frey stuck between a rock and a hard place. The hard place will find the kill and leaves Weber here. He is being demanded so much to try and shut down this momentum. If he's able to find the flank, then it's great stuff. It's very unlikely, though, with just the UMP that it will happen. FM, they have some security in the fact that they are 7 rounds ahead, be it 6 if Team Infused are able to take this one away. But every round that Team Infused gets, it inspires hope in their lineup. It inspires the chance that they can start contesting this game on their T side. And it seems to me that Weber is giving it to them, just looking for the exit frags, and they're all going to filter on through to him. Let's see if he can find a couple, try and shut down the economy. Pickles peeks, he's only 5 HP, he's the sacrificial lamb. They know he's there now. He's going to face up into 2. Shaney able to finish the job with his Rec 9, and it is 8-14 to Team Infused.
Closer than we've ever seen it before. But can Infused keep it going? It's a question that has to roll off your tongue ever so easily, as it is just that waiting game. Infused for now, they get to really play off the idea of that reset. It's a double eco on the court of FM, something Infused had to go through themselves. Last time we saw that happen, though, that was when Infused ban it back. Can we see the same expected play from FM? They need just 2 rounds to shut this one down, 2 rounds to claim victory. Stanley already going to jump, meets his maker, Pickles, to fire off just a few shots, but enough to drop him down to 12 HP. Such a small amount, a measly amount, because the pistol, that is nothing. There is no aggression there. A quick flick from a rifle, a quick random spray, a stray bullet, that ends you.
How often do we see teams throw away these rounds by not using their utility? And if you look a quick glance at Infused, they have everything at the hands of them. Let's just hope that they use it all to try and get themselves into the sights, not disrespect FM and these pistols that they currently have purchased up. Weber still with that UMP. Perhaps it could be a crucial sword in the back of Infused, they are playing this slow, letting the clock tick down, but the rotates from FM are coming through already as they split the CTs evenly. Nilzinho, he wants to play aggressive. He will find Ozzy as he backs off, reloads, and now the members are coming to him. Shaney goes low, but Lumji will be able to find the kill in the end. Weber, he's already rotated, but Pickles, he's behind the roster. He's looking to just try and be that sword at the back. FM toe-keyed right now. Weber, though, the UMP, he finds two. He looks for Pickles with the AK. He's recovered. Oh dear, Shaney, the last man alive. And AWP up close. There's Stanley looking to hold that angle. 26 seconds and the bomb in the middle of the site. He has to peek, but he finds the first kill. He looks to Stanley and he finds the second. Great stuff from Shaney to keep the dream alive there from Team Infused. They will find their ninth and close that gap further.
It should never have been that close though. Weber shouldn't be able to pick up a triple kill as he spindles around with that rifle.
We said it. The UMP. It could just be that wild card that they need. You know, you see it so often. Teams, they disrespect the fact that there could just be one gun. One gun to hold it through, and Weber, he's been doing it consistently.
It's just a free upgrade he was handed as well. After he found that frag with the UMP, then it turns into an AK, and once you get to that point, you're going, okay, what more? What tools do you need to give this man to make him have any better a chance to just smack you down? You're asking to get beaten there, so really kind of do want to almost spread the idea of hope for Infused and the idea that they can fix that. But still, 14-9, closer and closer we will venture. As Infused, they give us a match to witness. And what a way to start off this week. The final week of the Masters, of course. A point that we can rally home. As Fry, a player to watch. He's holding drop zone, looking through window, searching for a player to drop right into his crosshairs. As Nilzinho is going to line one up on towards A, but he has no information, no idea that this is just a big push from Infused, all hitting towards B, but Connector and drop zone going to be a crucial part of this play. You can see the idea from Ozzy here and the fact that he's trying to curve his crosshair over, look for that headshot, look for that entry. Ishiki repeats the same towards platform.
Stanley, back turned, trying not to reveal his position. Pulse finds the initial frag. They still don't know Stanley's there. Stanley with the kill. He peeks on out, and that's 2 down. 30 seconds now left on the clock, and the bomb, it is in the B site. Team Infused now have to commit to this idea of B as Ozzy does drop down, looking for Pulse, but Pulse will be so quick to the trigger. Lumji finally finds one for his roster. Can he find a second onto Pulse? And not going to be, as Weber with the AWP upgrades, and that's the gun that you were saying, the consistent upgrades for Weber. It just seals the fate. It's now match point for FM off of some clever positioning from FM.
The problem though, and this is the real problem, is that the reason we've been knocking on Infused, I'm sure there are people out there going, guys, Infused, they're bringing it back. This is where it all happens. Why are you knocking on them? Well, there was one problem. It was always kind of repeating itself in each and every round. FM were doing damage to them. They were hurting their economy. Tech9's in play. Weber just going to rub it right through with the AWP through a smoke. What a flick from him. Stanley, aggressive, with a flash grenade in his palm, but gets to walk back. There is no shots from Infused. This is looking out of it already. They've got to wake up. Someone slap them into play, as they need to up their game. It's 15-9. You're about to lose this one. Start to get yourself ready. Get yourself in that ballroom. Dance away as Ozzy can at least try and force that tango over towards second room. Flies on through. Looks at a frag on towards Stanley, who is there tithering on the edge of these steps. Not just going to come through just yet, but patience is going to be rewarding as he will find that frag.
4-4, 1 minute left, and the bomb's still in Infused hands. Shaney feeling a bit brave as he starts to peek around that corner, looking for Pulse moved by the fountain. Ozzy caught in mid-rotation, and Fry just gonna drop them all down. Do you want fries with that? He says he finds them all. 4 kills, and Team Infused are taken on down. The drive-through was shut for them. 16-9 is the scoreline for FM, and for Infused, a attempt at a comeback